Well, I'm in that separate room, and there's the whiteboard.
Yeah.
And I got like tuned up last night, and on the whiteboard it says Tyler was here, and I don't know if it was me.
Who knows, man?
That's the thing. Like, I'll never know if that was me or not.
Dude, it might be like one of those things like that Matthew McConaughey space movie.
Yeah,
you know? It's
dude.
Like here.
That movie did fuck me up. Like, actually, to this day, it's fucked me up. Where like my ex-girlfriend. Are we on? Yeah, we're on. We're good.
Yeah, I should have. My ex-girlfriend. Are we going? I mean, we don't have to include this.
No, that's fine. I don't care. But so my ex-girlfriend, like when I was living in New York, she was in Bethlehem, and I would come back home and stay with her, and she would like leave for work in the morning, and her pipes would make these weird noises. Mm-hmm. And we weren't like in a good spot with our relationship, and I was convinced, because I just saw Interstellar, I was convinced that my future self was coming back to warn me. Oh, no. So much where I would like leave the house.
Oh, really?
I would freak myself out. I would have to leave. I would sit in the Dunkin' Donuts till like 8 or 9 until I felt like the rest of the neighborhood was up, and then I felt safe to go back.
Do you feel like at that moment where you're like because I'm in a bad relationship?
I was like, yeah, I must not be where my future self wants me to be.
Yeah.
And wherever I'm like this, being in this relationship might be, he might think this is hurting me. Right. So he's coming back saying, you got to get out. Yeah. And he's just trying to get my attention. And there I just like laying in the bed. Dude, it did fuck with me. Like, and to this day, I don't know. Like I'm not convinced it wasn't that.
Yeah. Who knows what the future lies in store for you.
I'm so like susceptible to that type of shit.
I was listening to like a set of mine from last night, and it was like, like when you do the show and just like the crowd's just a mess, and it's just like, and I'm listening to it like Matthew McConaughey be like, don't do material, don't do material, what are you doing? They're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
I went all the way to Erie last night to call some woman a stupid bitch in the front row.
That's not bad though. That's not bad.
No, it was the right move.
She didn't call you that.
She didn't. No.
Damn. I've never been to Erie. I don't think. Wait, I have. I think I visited. Is there a college called Mercyhurst in Erie?
What do you think, Tim? I don't know.
That's
Folks,
the thing.
This is the Skullet podcast where we ask the tough questions like, what do you think of my hair? And our guests ask questions like, does your girlfriend like your hair? Well, over here we got Tyler Rothrock. And is this a college?
Yeah,
right?
it is. Mercyhurst.
Erie, yeah. I visited there. I visited there out of high school. I visited that college, and I hated it.
You would go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because I played basketball. I was a basketball player. Okay. So they were recruiting me, and I visited. I did not like the school.
Because the pipes were like shaking. You're like, don't go to
no, don't do it. No, this Mercyhurst, I think it's like very religious. So like you couldn't have like girls in your dorm and stuff. Oh, yeah. And I'm like, you know me, I'm gonna have some chicks. We're like, I wouldn't have. Like, it's like that. That's never been like a major issue.
Mom, Dad, I can't go.
Yeah, sorry, this isn't gonna work. I'm gonna be getting pussy in the dorms. So.
Where'd you end up going?
I didn't. I ended up. You know what? I ended up like going a different path.
Yeah.
I decided to go right into the workforce, which was at a driving range. I worked at I taught. You know what the first tee is? It's like
no.
First tee is you. It's like a golf program where you like underprivileged kids, like you teach them golf.
Yeah.
But like where I'm from, there's like not a ton. Like it was just mostly rich kids that their parents dropped them off because they didn't want to deal with them. So it kind of defeated the purpose. But that was my first after college job or college age job.
And it was like, so folks, we got over here. We got Tyler Rothrock, very funny comedian out of Bethlehem, PA.
Bethlehem, PA.
Make sure you guys check him out. If you ever go through,
you won't, you won't be there. There's no real reason for you to go. But if you do, you could let me know, and I'll tell you what hot dogs to get. Big hot dog area, big hot dog wars where I'm from.
No way.
It's the big thing. Like there's, like Philly has cheesesteaks, like Pat's or Gino's. The hot dog wars of Bethlehem, like the Lehigh Valley, it's a real thing.
Well, is there a difference?
Yeah. There's
you can tell a difference between there's a good hot dog and a bad hot dog.
Yeah, look at Pot's Doggy. So Pot's Doggy Shop, that's mine. I'm a Pot's Doggy guy. Mm-hmm. But then there's a Yakos. Yakos is the two pillars of the hot dog. It's like what's the Romeo and Juliet? What's the families? The
Montagues and the Capulets.
Yeah. That's what we got going on here. Fucking, that's why he's a reader.
I'm a reader.
College man.
College. Where'd you go?
I went to. I stayed home too. I went to Hartford Community College for 2 years, and then I went to New York Film Academy for.
All right. Actually, I did go to community college. I went to community college for 6 years.
Whoa.
2 different times.
Van Wilder.
3. Yes. Yeah. I went back. You ever when you were in community college? You ever like have the old guy in the class?
Yeah.
I was there long enough to be the person that judged the old guy and then be the old guy.
Yeah.
Not what you want.
Right.
Not what you want, but yeah. So I'm Potts. I'm a Potts guy. Fuck Yakos. Yeah.
No, that's hot dog. Okay, so where do you stand on glizzies? The term.
I mean, I think it's disrespectful.
Yeah.
I think glizzies doesn't give the hot dog its justice. I don't think. I think it's more of like a vernacular term for it.
I have a theory about it.
Oh yes, I love hot dog.
There was a story. There was a report that basically takes off like 10% of your life or whatever. Every hot dog you eat takes an hour from your life. Yeah.
You guys got like. Do you have a corner that you could nearby? Do you have a funeral home on? Because I don't know how much time I would have.
So that's what they say. It's like it takes this much time of your life, and it was like on hot dogs, right? And then everyone's like freaking out, and no one's eating hot dogs anymore. And then 2 years later, they're like, "Oh, we have this new thing called a glizzy," and everyone just forgot all about the story.
You think it got rebranded?
It got fucking P Diddy to Puff Daddied.
Whoa, man!
Yeah.
And now. Can you imagine what's going to happen in a couple years with it? If it went from Puff Daddy to P. Diddy? In like 15 years, 20 years, you're going to be like, glizzies have been raping everybody in the music industry.
Yeah. 27 minutes off your life. 61 grams of processed meat resolved in 27 minutes off your life.
Oh, that's fine. It's not, you know how many would you have to eat to take a substantial amount of time off?
I mean, 27 minutes for one hot dog. I mean, that's not even a big deal.
No, it's not a big deal.
How many hot dogs have you eaten in your life?
That's a great question.
Dude, 48 hot dogs is a day.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, how many hot dogs do you think I might have eaten? I'm going to this is going to humble me to give this guess. You ever guess an amount and you're not sure? Have you ever like said, I only did it this much and it's clearly more than everybody?
Yeah.
I might be at 300 hot dogs in my life.
Dude, that is such an underguess.
Under
300?
Is it you've looked at the way I'm built and you're like
you have a favorite hot dog place in your hometown.
But I don't eat a ton of them. That's the thing. Okay, you're right.
What's the sitting? You order some.
I only go 2 hot dogs in the sitting.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It's an hour.
That's an hour. It takes me 45 seconds to eat the 2 hot dogs. That ratio is not good. How long it takes me to eat it to how long? 500. I think 500 could be 500 to maybe 1,000 seems insane, but also maybe not.
How many? I mean, I don't want to stick on this too long. The audience is tuning out right now. The hot dog talk, but I get 1,000 maybe. I mean, how many times do you eat hot dogs a year? I feel like you got a favorite place. You know, is it a weekly thing for you?
No. I only go there like 2 or 3 times. I'm more of just like a supporter in the army. You know, which I'm not going to call myself a fake sport.
Stolen valor for a hot dog?
A little bit stolen valor. I just have, I have my...
I fucking hate that term. Stolen valor, by the way, is a word I can never remember, and I'm always saying it, and then I get lost in the sauce.
I love stolen valor.
I love it too.
Do you watch videos?
Of stolen valor videos?
I go to sleep to them. I fall asleep to stolen valor videos. People getting called out. It's awesome. Sometimes somebody will call somebody out for stolen valor, but it's actually a troop, and they get to call the stolen valor. There's no better moment.
Double stolen valor.
Double stolen valor.
Smoking 15 or more a day. What is this? Each cigarette shortens your life by 11 minutes. So imagine your day if you're smoking cigarettes and eating glizzies.
Well, I'm saying that's crazy to me though, that a cigarette takes off less time than a hot dog.
Yeah. So what you're saying is glizzies, much like Diddy,
yeah,
are more dangerous than almost anything else.
Of course, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine those white parties at Oscar Mayer
Yeah.
Factory, dude.
Well, you can't have a white party. You can't have hot dog white party, dude. There's
Definitely not.
you get ketchup all over your suit. That's why I know I'm not built for that level of success because I don't have white party etiquette. Like I'll get shit on. It'll be within the first half hour, and I'll have like bean dip on my white. Like nobody talks about how much dip these celebs get on their white suits at the white party.
That is true. No one is talking about
Nobody
that.
talks about it. Nobody's asking the hard journalistic questions.
There's like some gimp going around with like a Tide Pod or something, a little Tide
I
marker or
bet. I
something.
bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good question. What kind of snacks they have at the white parties that wouldn't stain the clothes?
No, you're not. You know they're not pulling out Cheetos. Salsa. I mean, dude, if I'm in a supermarket with salsas as an option, I'll get it on me somehow. It's a running joke in my life how quickly I get shit on me when I eat.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I get like something will follow me all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and I try to avoid it. I don't set out for that, but you know, every time. Oh fuck, because I'm a big sauce guy. Are you sauce people?
I mean, I like a sauce, sure. You know,
That doesn't feel like
Yeah, I know. A sauce guy. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you're not. If you're saying that, like, I'll take a sauce. That's not being a sauce guy. You know what I'm talking about.
Brother, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, thank you.
Sauce boss. It's like sauce is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
At some point, you know.
Everything to me
Yeah.
is a vehicle for to put sauce in my body. Like, I don't really care. Everything is just like just to get me to, have some sauce.
You're not even a hot dog fan. You just really like ketchup. You're like, man, I gotta find a way to get this ketchup.
Dude, I think so. Like, I like one of my meals, my poor meals, is steamed vegetables in the microwave, and I'll just put sauce on it, like whatever sauce I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
So, because the vegetables is healthy, but it's just a little vehicle to get me some sauce.
Well, are you putting teriyaki on that?
No, not teriyaki. I could. That's not a bad one. That's not a bad one to try it down the road. But I'll do like a little sriracha, or I'll do a little bit of. I got this I got this honey mustard that's been kicking lately. A new honey mustard went in the mix.
That's good. It's nice.
You find a new sauce, it gives you 3 or 4 days of like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
When you find a good sauce.
It's like new love, and then it becomes a thing of let's cut that. My girlfriend listens to this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This sauce is growing a Skullet out.
Yeah.
Oh, I am the sauce, actually.
I'm just using multiple sauces. I'm turning the labels away so they don't see. I'm like, this, you can't watch me. I'm so sorry.
Tyler, so you live in Bethlehem. You and I met though in New York. I knew
Yes.
you in New York. Is that what? Did you start comedy in New York? Or did you start in Philly?
Philly, yeah.
Philly,
Philly,
okay.
yeah. Sorry, my first open mic was Helium in Philly.
And then were you like commuting from Bethlehem?
Yeah. I would go down to Philly, and then there was like mics in the Lehigh Valley that would like happen, but like there wasn't like any comedy scene, so it was all like music. Like the stage time was, looking back, was so insane, but it's like you didn't know any better. So when I moved to New York, I was like, oh shit, there's like mics with comics, and there's like a scene and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I think that we probably met at like the Creek or something.
I assume so. Yeah.
Rest in peace. Well,
rest in peace.
Should
be dead. That's what I say. I'm saying it's moved on. It's like a zombie, but it's dead. It's unalive.
It's definitely in a different place now.
And how long did you start in Philly before you moved to New York?
Like 3 years.
Yeah.
Not enough time. Like if that's like a regret of mine. Like I went too quick, I think.
Yeah.
Because I saw, you probably experienced this too. Like when you move to New York, you instantly get thrown to the bottom of this barrel.
Yeah.
But like I would move, like I had friends that like moved to New York with like some heat, you know, and like they would automatically get like club spots, and they had a much different experience with New York City. So, but yeah, I moved 3 years in, and then left again.
Yeah. Because you and I think like the most we ever hung out was after we both had left New York. I think like, you were in Pittsburgh, and we just sort of like hung out, and we kind of like, I was like, oh yeah, we have so much in common. But at the time, we're just like, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's almost impossible to like get caught. Like I made some friends, but like I feel like you were in New York. Like what years?
2009 to 2000. 21.
Yeah. Okay. So I feel like I was there 13 to like 18.
Okay.
And I feel like those years, I don't have a reference point because that's the only time I was there, but just hearing from other people, it was like this weird time in stand-up because like everybody was running around doing tons of mics.
Yes.
And there was no real like social media avenue at the time yet. It was just starting. Like there weren't like TikTok reels. There wasn't like Instagram shit like that.
It was Twitter and
Twitter. We were like tweeting shit. But so we were just all running around trying to do as many mics as possible. So like I didn't really hang. I wasn't like a networking hang guy.
Yeah.
So I kind of missed a lot of the experience of like New York, I think. Yeah,
because that was a thing. I mean, what is it now with social media? You can like your presence can be everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Having to be everywhere. By the time it was just like I gotta be like every this guy's at every place.
Right.
Know?
Yeah. I wonder. It's like the ratio of time. It's such a different thing now. Like you spend most of your time like editing reels and clips, I think, and then you can go to the club and network and hang out and get up once, and I feel like there's less getting up a bunch, and more editing reels, but which is fine. It's just the way it's gone. But I have it like ingrained in me that I like love getting like I'll still do like 6 mics a week.
Oh yeah.
So
you can do that in Bethlehem.
Yeah, you could do that pretty much anywhere now. So which is cool. I don't know about here. Is it good here?
You can do it. Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm not doing that shit.
It's not good for me. Like it's not healthy. Like it doesn't make me better. It doesn't make me, definitely my mind is not better for doing it, but
really?
No, mics?
The sauce stuff? I think that's great, dude. I think you're in a very healthy place.
I'm cutting down my hot dogs.
Yeah.
Less sauce, but
do you feel like you're insane?
Yeah, I'm insane. I'm an insane person. I was just thinking about like when we were talking about the reading, like I would not if like there was like a camera following me.
Yeah.
I would be so embarrassed on people seeing how I live my life. Like
tell us about it.
Like read, like I can't read. I can't read. No, actually, that is all jokes aside, I no longer can read.
You can't read.
I cannot read because like I just start thinking about my own life. Like I'll look at I'll read like 4 sentences and it'll remind me of something that's happened to me.
Yeah.
And I just think about it, but I'm still turning the pages in the time it would take to read, but I have not looked at one of the words.
Right.
And so I get like anxious about it. So a lot of times I have to read from like the back to the front, or I'll like go in the middle.
What?
Like if I read a magazine, I start from the back. Isn't that insane?
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, is it because does it give you comfort to know how it's going to end?
Yep. That's exactly right.
Really?
I don't want to be tricked.
Oh no.
I don't want to be tricked.
How do you decide, like, is it page 300 to page 299 to like what? How backwards are you reading?
Okay, so typically what I'll do is if I start a book, and like obviously when the story's being told, there's foreshadowing and there's the common tropes of storytelling.
Yeah.
And most people enjoy them and say, I can't wait to continue to the story because it's an experience. I'm like, nah. How does this fucking end? I need to know now. So I'll skip the whole book. And it's like, oh, they get married at the end. Cool. Fuck it. I'm done with that book. That's over. And I do it in movies too. Like my girlfriend will get so pissed. We'll watch like a documentary or a movie if it's a movie about like a real thing, like adapted story.
Yeah.
I will like Google how it ended before the movie ends.
Yeah.
And I'll just ruin the movie for everybody.
My friend Alyssa does the same thing. She like loves spoilers. She'll look at the whole synopsis and then she'll decide if she wants.
But I need to know. I need to know. Like I can't live in this world of like
what happens
I don't enjoy. I don't enjoy the time. Like watching the story go on. I'm like, I get so anxious that I just need to know the end.
Yeah.
Which is insane. It's an insane thing that's going on.
So do you not like going to the movies because
I typically don't like going to the movies. I like depending on what kind of movie it is. Like I tried to go watch the fucking bomb movie
The bomb movie?
Yeah.
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. Yeah, sorry. I tried to watch Oppenheimer, which, by the way, it's kind of historical fact how that ended. But I still couldn't handle it.
Yeah. It's like,
You know?
is he going to get fucked over by
Yeah,
Senate or
how does
whatever?
this gonna,
Yeah.
So I tried to watch that like 3 or 4 times in theater,
Yeah.
and I had to leave early each time.
Wait, what?
I've left early.
You left early
Mhm.
because
I
you
just
didn't know.
I wasn't having fun in there. I wasn't enjoying my time.
Then why'd you go back?
Because I wanted to see, like, I wanted to,
Be part of it.
yeah, I wanted to be like a guy that watched Oppenheimer. You know, I wanted to be a part of the conversation.
Yeah.
And because for a while it was like that was like a conversation. You know,
People talked about
people
it.
talked about it, and it was
The
like
zeitgeist,
it showed that you knew shit. I don't know shit.
Yeah.
I don't know any shit, and I want to know more shit, but I don't want to do what it takes to get to know the shit.
Right. Yeah.
Which is a big you know, that's a conundrum.
It is a conundrum. That's a good.
Because you like learning, you like reading. That's, to me, I'm jealous of that.
Well, I wasn't always this way.
Really?
Yeah. But my friend wrote a book, and I
I wasn't always this way. I was like, it implies such a negative. I wasn't always this way. But years and years and years.
But I've done little brain hacks, you know. So I don't
Like what? Like what are some things?
I don't like to go to the gym,
Mhm.
right? But I will walk for a mile in the beginning, right?
Mhm.
So I will read a book while I'm doing that, and actually find that very enjoyable.
Yeah, that to me does sound enjoyable.
Yeah.
Like the idea of it. But I think in the actual practice, I'd be fucked up mentally. But I think it does require some training. You know.
Absolutely, it's training, but also I'm a competitor,
Mm-hmm.
and my friends they have a reading competition.
Yeah.
And we text each other the books that we read.
Okay.
And I want to fucking beat Enrique,
Yeah.
Heather, and Logan.
Yeah.
And,
That's okay.
So, you know, there's like a title belt and stuff we all get.
Oh, nice.
So I'm doing it, but I also want to it's like I'm doing it for myself, but also fuck them, you know?
Right. Okay. That might be a way to do it.
But I don't trust.
Does it get
writers,
you
actually,
ready to work out?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's like pre-gym. That's the worst mentally I am. Like when I have to go work out.
Sure. Yeah.
Like I don't know if there's a worse mental space for me to be.
Having to
Like
go to the gym.
knowing, like when I start, like I try to run 40 minutes a day.
What?
And 30 to 40 minutes a day on the treadmill.
On the treadmill. That's
in
insane.
the cold, yeah. So
In the cold?
no, when it's cold out, I go on the treadmill.
Yeah.
And like I get so depressed when I start. Like I have to do it today, and like the first 5 minutes of that running, I'm like, so like I would if I had something to end my life, I would in that moment. So every day, every single day. But wait, so you don't trust writers, you say?
No, but that made me think of, you know, that little thing that they have on the treadmill. It'd be really funny if there was a gun attached to it, and you pull it off, and then it's like it stops.
Do you know how many dead bodies would be at Planet Fitness? It's just out of shape bodies. Just well, you have to clean up another one.
Yeah, we can talk a little bit. I don't really trust writers just because, you know, like they're just like everything that they're experiencing. I don't know if you ever you lived it, you know, like have you met writers?
Yeah.
They're like the worst because they're not really present. They're
Right.
just like
Yeah.
they're always like at a slight remove from the social interaction, and everything in their life is just like fodder for their little stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you feel like that about us?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think it would be hard to like interact with us. I think
so. Yeah.
That's probably why like people like us just kind of all just only hang out with other people.
Yeah.
You know, I do. Do you? So your girlfriend, is she involved in this at all?
The podcast?
No, like comedy.
She helps like me run the show,
but she doesn't do it.
No.
Do you find her? Do you find that connection hard because of the like? I have a hard time connecting as I get older, connecting to non-comedian people.
Oh, no. I think we have a good relationship. It's pretty easy for the most part.
I'm jealous of that.
I've been doing this thing lately. I've been since football's over. I've had like an existential crisis, and
well, football's not over for me, so I just have to point
you're
that
a
out.
Philly fan, fucking.
It's
fuck you,
Philly,
dude.
be careful with football being
All
over.
right, you're right. You're right. Mark Andrews dropped the football, and I've just been like, kind of like the last 2 weeks. It's just been like, what have I been doing the last 5 months? You know. But I finally got like every time football season's over for me, I get a meditation app.
Okay.
And this one actually is doing the trick. I'm actually getting the thing. Also, David Lynch died, so it's like all about meditation and stuff. So I'm kind of getting into it, and like I'm slightly less anxious and actually feel it. Like I'm a little bit more present than I was.
Okay.
And so I've noticed that like I've been less irritable. So like there's like certain times where I would just be like, I'll just lash out at like Tim. For no reason, and
yeah,
and then it's like, and then I'm like, and I was just like, wow, I really wasn't in control of my emotions.
Yeah,
and stuff. And I'll do the same thing to my girlfriend. It's like very nice, and like there's like why am I being mean for no reason?
Right.
But it's been an easier thing to kind of like ease into.
Damn. So how you rarely do you like, I guess, take stock and notice improvements like that? It must be actually more like significant than you think if you're noticing it with yourself, because people can improve, but like they don't necessarily have a grasp on how much better off they are, you know. So
true. The tricky thing is it's a free trial, so I don't know if it's like if it's worth is this improvement. Honestly, right. Tim, how important is it for the ongoing health of the podcast that I don't just erupt for no reason? It's
huge. We can't have them snapping on gas. A lot of stuff's been cut out, folks.
That brings us back to our sponsor, BetterHelp.
Yeah. So
what is it? It's just an app that what do you do? Like, what's it like? You just sit and meditate for like 20 minutes?
And it's like what is it? It's like the Waking Up podcast.
Okay.
Waking Up app. What's the guy's
name?
Harris. Sam Harris, right? So like. I've gone through 5 different meditation apps. They never do anything for me, but this one it's actually kind of clicking a little bit.
Okay, well, I need to check that out.
Because honestly, like you mentioned being anxious, and I'm like being like, oh shit, I'm like anxious. You know what I mean? I just the last 36 or so years. Were
you like anxious?
Absolutely, bro. And then I'm like, and I'm like looking back on my whole life. And I'm like, wow, maybe like every interaction I've had where it's like, wow, this person sucks. And I'm like, well, maybe I'm just bringing really a ball of anxiety to every interaction I'm having.
Yeah, that's one thing that like I'm starting to think about, which doesn't help anxiety. Like, like you're like, fuck, is my reality not how it is?
Of course.
Am I seeing this in a way a way different way than it is? Like, I don't know. Do you know what I'm thinking a lot about? Death.
Yeah.
I'm freaking out about death a lot.
Okay.
Like I would say I always, even as a kid, when I remember like being aware of mortality.
Yeah.
And I think because I would go to church growing up, and there's like you talk about heaven, but even the introduction of heaven to a kid makes them realize that they're going to be dead one day.
Yeah.
So you're like, what is that? Is that? And I think anybody like will question that whole thing, So I remember as a kid, I'd have these like panic attacks that one day I'll just be dead and everything will be happening without me.
Yeah.
And like what happens? And they went away for a while, but I'm having them again. Like once a week, I'll like randomly just be hit with like, what the fuck happens when I'm dead?
I'll say that my mom's gonna love this episode.
Oh yeah, his mom's a therapist, so
oh shit,
she's gonna break this one down.
If you want to get her email and stuff and have a conversation,
well, she's a licensed therapist,
she's a counselor, but
counselor. So, little fun fact about my entry into stand-up comedy: it was because of a therapist.
Go on.
I was like maybe 18 or 19. No, I was 21, and I was having like a weird mental time, and like I had some like deaths, like friends and my dad and stuff, and so I had gone to this therapist when I was in like high school, right? As a family, we went to this guy, and then he retired, so I stopped going.
Yeah,
not because I was like a better version of myself, but he just was like, I have enough money to go to Florida. So sorry, pal. And so I started. Then like 6 or 8 years later, I'm like not having a good time, and my mom's like, "You got to go to therapy." My friends are like, "You got to see a therapist." Like my girlfriend broke up with me, and I was just treating her like codependency type shit. And so they're like, I'm like, I'm not going to therapy. I did therapy, and he fucking retired. So I had this trust issue with therapy.
Yeah.
And my mom brought my therapist out of retirement.
Oh my god!
To see me, which
wow. It's like pro wrestling.
Yeah, Tom
shit,
Brady
dude.
or
It's like
something.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, or like Jordan. Like he was.
Yeah.
Played baseball for a little bit. He came back. He's like, I'm here, kid.
And I got like Jordan on the Wizards level of therapy. Like he was mailing it in.
He's fatter now.
He's tan. He's way better at golf. He's like, what? He's like I'm like telling him my problems. He's like looking at boats and shit. It's like, no. So anyway, in that therapy session, he's like, he was a good therapist. He said, I think you need to build some self-esteem. And like, your self-esteem is so low. You need to do something to build some self-esteem. And I was like, I love stand-up comedy. I always thought about maybe trying stand-up comedy. He's like, well, go try it. And then now I'm here.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's such bad at therapy.
I was going to say, are you better now from it?
No. He's like, told me to do this life.
Oh, yeah.
But actually, I think it is a good advice because I wouldn't want to. I mean, this sucks. Like, you know what's crazy about stand-up? I was thinking about this with our friend Paul. It's so we complain about how shitty it is.
Yeah.
But then we don't have to do it. We love it though. It's the best.
Yeah.
But like, I think we only really complain about it because we feel like we have to complain about it. Because if it's so bad, we would stop. Like, this is, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't fully follow.
Like, it's not as bad as like. Why would we complain about it? What's so bad about it?
Tim has thoughts.
Well, I mean, like I was saying in the kitchen the other day when we were talking, it's like you're doing something like whether for me like I'm editing something, it's like so annoying. But I've wanted to do it for so long, so then it's like, why am I upset right now?
Yeah,
this is what I wanted.
Yeah, I wanted
do
this.
Like it.
I'm choosing
so,
this.
Yeah, you can choose to.
So
look
I'm
at it.
It's like the negativity. I'm bitching like, oh, this fucking industry sucks. It's like, well, do a different thing. You're in it, so I must love it. So if I maybe stop bitching so much, maybe I'll have a better time with it.
Yeah, I
just don't know why. Like I like a bitch so much about stand up. I don't know why I do it.
I think it's the atmosphere. Like comics, kind of just like complaining.
But I feel like it's right. That's what I'm saying.
No, you're looking at me, dude. Well, no. He was like looking
comics
at me.
just they like to lash out. You know, they just like to hold in resentment and just snap on you one day for no reason.
I'm a lot more aware of how much of a dick you are, fucking Tim, behind the glass.
Wait, so is it? Forgive me. Is there like tension boiling here?
No. Okay. I'm sorry. I think we're playing at it, but I love Tim. He's doing a great job.
We're just goofy. We're just horse playing.
You've been roommates for a long time.
A year.
A year.
Dang.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Because last time I was here, you were over another place.
Yeah.
And how'd you meet?
The Don't Tells.
Word.
I just did. I just met him in Don't Tell. Started doing photography for.
Oh, you went to a show as like a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, dude.
And
look at you getting the groupies.
Yeah.
What can I say?
He's collecting
But you're right though. There's like this negative. There's like this and it's like almost passed down, like from like the old people. Like it's
definitely the culture for sure.
Yeah, the culture, which doesn't make sense because it's so awesome.
I think it's like because we're supposed to be truth tellers and stuff, and it's like if we're happy people are like, you think happy people are stupid, right? And we can't we all want to be like we're the smart guy. Yeah, I just think that's fucking. I'm agreeing with you. I think that's stupid that we do that. Yeah, because it probably makes it this way harder of a life than it needs to be. Yeah,
I think it's like the bell curve meme. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like happy people very dumb, middle of the road people super like pissed and hate everything, and then really happy people are also the smartest. So it's like the middle ground's pessimistic all the time. Yeah, the dumbest and the smartest are both happy.
Well, yeah, awareness is not fun. Like knowing shit is not. I think that's another part of my why I don't read and learn. I don't think it's always better to know. most stuff. Like
That's what they want you to. They don't want you to know.
I think that's
You gotta
fine.
know, dude.
Who's they?
You know what I'm talking about.
The powers that
The
be.
powers that be, dude. I'm learning. French.
I'm fine with that. I don't want to know. Like, do you guys are you guys following this drone thing, the New Jersey drone situation?
No, I'm a little familiar with it.
So apparently, there's drones that are like flying all, and they want to know. People want to know, and the government is for the most part just like saying we don't know what's going on, which they probably do. But everybody's like, there's like all these Facebook groups speculating on what it is, and it's like we shouldn't. If they don't want us to know, let's just let it go.
Well, I think that
I don't want to know then.
If they don't want us to know, then we're not really gonna know, and then they'll give us weird information and stuff, and it becomes so muddled that there's no way of knowing the truth.
Yeah,
so.
We've probably not known anything. We've never learned one truth. Probably, like everything's been like fucked with. I think, like I don't know. Like if I wasn't there, I don't even fucking believe it.
But even if you were there, could you even trust your own senses?
Not my own.
Yeah.
My perception of reality, as I've stated,
Yes.
is fucked up.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess we're getting into the weeds a little bit with
We're all just like, whoa.
conspiracies.
I need some sauce. Is the drone thing still happening? I thought that was like pre-election died down. Is it still like a thing?
Is there
It's
something
still
new
happening. People still like I just saw a drone. That's the thing though. I'm like, is that a drone or is that a plane? So like the whole reality is all fucked up.
Yeah.
You're like, and it's weird. So I'm like, you know what? Just don't. And like, so and the other thing is, people are like, yeah, the drones have been there. Are we just looking up now for the first time? Like, are we just noticing some shit? So I don't know.
First time looking up, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, whoa.
Look, what's all that stuff up there?
What's that white?
Stop
What's
looking at
that
our
white
phones,
fluffy
my
stuff
God.
up there? I don't know, man. Like I know I'm not smart enough to figure it out. So I think it's better if I just don't even have the any of the info to freak me out. I get so anxious about like news and politics and like, dude, I'm so susceptible to like conspiracy. Like I'm the target.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am like, if you show me a YouTube video of anything, I'll be like, I'll be into it. It'll get me.
I'm the same way, and the only other thing I know we have in common is like the sauce. So I
Yeah.
wonder if there's like a
Yeah.
correlation between like guys love
Yeah.
sauce.
Listen, dude, I'm doing okay. All right.
Yeah.
I can see truth from fiction. I'm doing great.
Well, they might put something in the sauce.
Yeah.
Right. The government put some shit in the sauce.
There's fluoride in all the sauce.
Yeah.
It's just melting our.
Did
whatever.
you get vaxxed? Let me tell you something, brother. That's the sauce.
that
right
is
there.
sauce. All right.
That's the-
Actually. Are you still hooping?
No, I don't play
stopped?
basketball. No, I don't. I never really liked playing. But my dad was was the coach of my rival high school.
Whoa.
Yeah. So he was like a basketball coach, and I liked playing, but I wasn't forced into doing it, but I didn't truly enjoy
Yeah.
playing basketball. I just kind of wanted to beat him, I think.
Of course.
And that was like my identity. It's weird, like you have identities when you're growing up, that aren't really you. That's what I like. It's crazy. Like at our age, like I'm 37 now. Like who I actually am, I'm just starting to be that person.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? And it's crazy that it takes you as I think a guy. I think women have an easier time with it. Maybe I don't know, but I'm just starting to like be okay with my interests. And I'm not embarrassed by them,
Sauce.
Sauce. Like, or like I'll look at like I'll go to Barnes and Noble and I'll like you ever go to Barnes and Noble and you see the books about like rivers and like geography, just like the almanacs.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. When I was a kid, I would read the almanac.
Really?
Like I was addicted to like knowing how many people were in cities,
Oh, that's cool.
like the population. So, but I would never like want people to know that.
Yeah.
Like my friends, I would never let them into that because they're gonna like call me a nerd or call me like a name or something. Or
Do you know
judge-
what's the most populous city in Pennsylvania?
Philly?
What's the most populous? Can I ask you, Carl?
Yeah.
Will it
fire
work?
away.
Will you,
I mean, I can. Yeah, I haven't.
most
Yeah.
populous city in Vermont?
I would imagine it's Well, the capital is Montpelier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would it be Portsmouth?
I mean, I have no way of knowing. Tim can
I
look
think
it
it's
up.
probably Portsmouth.
What has is Pittsburgh bigger or most populous between Pittsburgh and Columbus?
I would imagine Pittsburgh.
Columbus, actually.
Really?
3 times.
Bigger than Pittsburgh?
But that's
3 times.
new though, right? I mean, that's like a newer thing. It's like been growing.
Yeah, probably.
Wow.
It's like
yeah.
blowing up.
Damn.
Like 900 versus 300.
It's like 300. Yeah. Pittsburgh isn't that big.
It's not that big.
I think Pittsburgh's one of my favorite cities though because of the demographics of it. It's like it reminds me a lot of Bethlehem. It's like a bigger Bethlehem.
Yeah.
I love towns where like the industry like there was like this was a steel and like it's not now, right?
Yeah.
Did they make any steel here? But the identity is
I
still
haven't seen
that.
any for a while.
Like Bethlehem, it was like the biggest steel manufacturer in the world was Bethlehem Steel, and they went out of business like maybe 30 years ago. I don't know, and everybody just stayed. It was like the whole the arrogance of that to me is so funny.
Was the Deer Hunter set in Pennsylvania or it was in Bethlehem or Pittsburgh?
Oh,
have you seen it?
Deer Hunter?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Is it scary?
No.
Sounds scary. I don't like scary.
It's like no. It's like okay. I'll tell you the whole movie. Okay, guy goes to Vietnam and then he comes back.
Okay.
Pittsburgh thought so, but
that's
it was like
here. That's got to be close to here, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Pittsburgh's cool because it's it's like not a cool city. Not to be disrespectful to it. It's like it's cool, but it's not like New York City. It's like it's so lame because everybody goes there because it's cool to live there. Nobody moves to Pittsburgh because it's cool to live here.
Yeah, I think it's one of those. It's like undiscovered how fun it is.
It's fun.
I think eventually, because there are a lot like I'm a transplant that came here. I think tech and people being remote, more people are definitely coming here because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
So I could see it gaining popularity.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely.
That's what's happening where I'm from. Like everybody, but like that was the thing about New York when I don't know how you felt, but everybody just was constantly trying to convince themselves how great it was to be there.
Yeah.
And maybe that's part of my negativity with comedy because I associate comedy with that place a little bit. I hated every moment in that place.
Yeah, dude.
Every moment I fucking hated. Like, how can you enjoy it? And I'm not like, it's like you're not ever comfortable.
Uh-huh.
You're always waiting on somebody else.
Yeah.
You're either the hottest you've ever been or freezing. There's no, you're not,
Yeah.
There's like 9 days of the year where you're like, I actually feel pretty comfortable.
Sure, yeah.
And everybody's in your way. They all hate you, but they're not looking at you. Nobody knows you, but you're just around millions of people. And it's a people zoo. It's not fucking, it's insane that's how, like, when I go to New York City, I'm like, it's insane how people live this way.
Yeah.
Look at how they live.
Uh-huh.
But then those people are like, what a beautiful place. What? The energy? Fuck the energy. This is insane.
I mean, I know what you're talking about. I don't totally agree with you.
You liked it?
I mean, I don't know. It's like, did I like my 20s? You know, that's how I feel.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
So
That's
it's
fair.
like, it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And all those negative things you said are true, but also there's a lot of like, I go back, bro. It's like, and the energy, baby. It's like, it's crazy. It's like, it's crazy how like I lived. And I'm like, I'm eating pizza and I'm shitting and, just driving drunk.
Can't
It's
do that in
dude.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, wow.
You can't do that in Pittsburgh. I'll tell you that
No
much.
toilets or pizza here.
I mean, it is a wild experience, man. And I'm like, it's like, I'm going, like, I'm running into people constantly. It's like, it's a thrill. It's a thrill to go back.
How'd Ronnie sell you on New York City? Well, he did bring up the point that he was eating pizza. He was shitting. You can't really argue with that. You can't really. What a cosign of a.
But it totally makes sense that you like. I didn't get the impression when I did see it that you were having a good time.
I wasn't having a good time, and I just didn't think anybody liked me.
That also was true because also, bro, I don't think
True.
but also, it was it's good to see you now because like you're always like we're funny, but it's like I've seen you like you're Tyler's a hilarious comic, so it's like whenever he comes through, it's like you're super funny and unique and original. But I'm also just like you didn't fit in New York.
Yeah.
When I came, I was just like I bought a pea coat.
Yeah.
I'm like I'm gonna try to fit in.
Right.
But you're wearing Carhartts, I'm imagining.
Yeah, I was.
No,
even worse. I had like fucking snowboard jackets on.
Yeah.
I got made like I just didn't. I was like
you had sauce on your shirts.
I did. I had sauce on my shirts. I just wasn't that. It wasn't gonna work for me.
And I'll tell you, even me dressing up like I fit in, it didn't work for me either. You know?
Yeah.
They're like, get the fuck out of here. You know?
Yeah. Which, by the way, I would have tried to, if I had any money, I probably would have tried to acclimate, but I just didn't. I was like, what am I going to do? Look like I belong here? I know I don't. Everybody
can
and like,
it,
there's this, like, I don't, like, I'm trying to be better at it now, but like, I fucking have such a hard time with like believing people don't hate me. My impulse is that I'm disliked or like not respected or I suck.
Sure, yeah.
Especially like, and I think that's also the time we were in New York, the scene that was the popular scene was the alt scene.
Oh yeah.
And I wasn't what they liked. Or like it's nobody's fault, but like
I think it's a style thing. And I don't mean it about your comedy because I feel like your comedy is like would totally work.
Yeah.
But I just feel like maybe like the way you present
aesthetically, maybe I don't.
But it doesn't even make sense because like all the things you're saying are like funny and it's like and unique and kind of weird. You're a weirdo. You are an old comic in a way, but you're also like a club. You know, it works.
Yeah. That's what was like. I had such a hard time, like, the cool kids. Like I was like, I went to a smaller high school and I was like on sports teams. So like you were kind of a popular kid, even though I didn't really fit into that thing. Like it was uncomfortable, but like you play sports and, you know, so you're the jocks like you or they know you. But then like comedy was so different where there's no like, I don't know how to even, it's like there's no team.
Yeah.
Like there, like where you're like, I don't know how to even say what I'm trying to say, but like,
you weren't just automatically accepted for doing it.
Yeah, but like in your insecure like brain that you're used to this like meritocracy. It was like, well, if you're not good enough, you'll get cut or whatever. But in comedy, there's none of that because everybody, you know, it's like anything could be funny. But and then so my insecure brain, I was like, oh, everybody hates me, but everybody's just like also thinking probably how I was thinking.
Sure.
And we're all in our own heads. But I was too like immature and insecure to like recognize that, oh, those cool kids probably don't hate me. They probably just don't really know me and they're probably just in their own fucking heads.
Sure.
So, and I think that took me out. And like, I think the easy default would be fuck them. Like, all right, I'm just going to like kind of rebel against it and actively not want to like meet those, you know, and so then you dig yourself into a worse hole. And then you don't have any fun. So like, how is this going to work for anybody, you know, for you?
Yeah.
That's my big regret is like not throwing myself into the situation a little bit more. Cause like you're just doing it as a protection to like and I've always been that way. When I was in college, my most embarrassing thing that I've ever done in sports is in sports.
Okay. I'm gonna lean in for this.
Yeah.
Let's hear this.
So when I went to community college, when I was a freshman, I was like a bench player. They put me in the game, and I had 40 points in the game. Like I had like I had a great game. So, but I was having the best game of my life, and at the end of the game, I on purpose fouled myself out. It was a close game. We lost the game, and we might have won if I stayed in because I was having such a good game.
Yeah.
I fouled myself out because in the moment I thought I'm on such a high right now.
Oh no!
If it turns and I start fucking up and start not having a good game, the good game will not like I will not have had I will ruin it.
Yeah.
Basically. So why don't I take it into my own hands, foul myself out, and not have to worry about how that ends.
So you self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage. Yeah. So, and I think I did that my whole time in New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that insane?
That is, I can see why your mom got your therapist out of retirement. It's like, my son is completely insane.
Yeah, I'm an insane person.
Was that game against your father's team?
No.
What point did you regret that? Like, at what point you were like, oh, why did I do that?
Instantly?
Probably relatively instantly, but so at the time, I broke the single game scoring record.
Whoa.
So there was like people were excited for me after the game. So I think
they didn't know. They probably didn't.
they didn't know
you
that.
did that.
They thought I just was trying. Nobody would have ever. I could have never got. Nobody would have ever known that.
Yeah.
But I know that I did that.
Yeah.
I didn't foul that person because I was trying to get the ball.
Right.
I fucking did it on purpose.
Now, this seems like a thing that you'd probably carry a little bit with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I have like football, like night, like, you know, regrets and stuff, and I'm watching football. It's like a poison for me a little bit whenever I watch any football product.
Well, like, what about it though?
I'm just actually kind of getting over it, but just like I played from 3rd grade to 10th grade, and I just stopped playing because I didn't go through puberty until like I quit, and then I got tall. So it was like I missed it.
The what if
a little bit.
Yeah.
And like I would always see this one coach who would like he would always be on his garage because he was my neighbor too. And he's like, could have used you, Ronnie.
Yeah.
We could have used you.
Which in a way makes you feel good, but also it's like the what if is like the hardest part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. I kind of have that with baseball. I was like really good at baseball, but I was afraid to get hit by the ball, so I stopped.
Yeah.
And, you know, but the difference is like I fucking like the reason why I think I'm so haunted by that thing now, and not really haunted, but it's like it's to me it's like it's an indictment on who I am. You know.
I think you're being really hard on yourself for this.
You think so?
Yes.
Do you think there's a chance that you're just looking back and almost subconsciously remembering it incorrectly?
No.
100.
No.
I'm laser focused
shot.
on this.
Yeah.
No. But here's what this tells me. Here's what this tells me. Let's look at this way. I think that what it shows me is like you have talent.
Yeah.
There's like, you know, whatever word you want to put, there's like maybe greatness inside you
Mm-hmm.
that maybe there's a chance in the future where you will hit another level. And now that you're aware of it, you've kind of like made peace with this part of you.
Good.
You will not sabotage yourself.
That would be great. That would be great. And I think what because I'm in therapy, and thank God. What like part of it is, you know, if you, and I think I did this a lot with stand up in New York too. If you eliminate the opportunity of failure, you kind of protect yourself from it, right? But then that you don't have to feel that failure. But then, like, what fucks with me is the fact that I'm doing that, and like then you're like, how bad do I want this if I'm not even willing to fucking, you know what I mean? So that's where you have to like kind of do some of the work with the, you know, yourself, I guess. But that's my goal. Is I hope I can like become like where I don't know if you struggle with this with stand up. Like I have a hard time feeling like I'm myself on stage where like I'm like being an authentic version.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh, was I doing Bargatze right there? Was I doing a little bit of this right there? Was I being something that I, you know, and like when I talk to people, they're like, no, you seem like yourself.
Right.
But it doesn't matter if my perception of that isn't.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I work a lot with my therapist on like feeling authentic, and her advice a lot is you gotta fail. You gotta like feel that shit a little bit, which sucks.
Dude, it sucks that failure is totally part of it.
Yeah.
It's the only way through growth, especially with jokes and stuff. It's
right.
Like, a lot of the stuff just has to bomb, you know, and you have to be like, that didn't work, but it's like you really have to do it again. And it's a lesson you got to continue learning because will try to protect yourself.
I guess I'm scared to, like, not that I never bomb,
sure,
but I feel like I keep it so safe that I don't bomb as like, I don't have like a story where like, I'm like, I mean, obviously I've bombed like badly, but a lot of those bombs are just me not going for it, you know, where like there are ideas that I have that I want to do on stage that I get scared to do because like they're like it's like a I don't know how to say it or like hard to work on, and it's going to be a bomb, or like I'll start to try it and it'll start not working, and then I like go back to the tricks that you pick up,
course,
where like
yeah.
you save the set, but then you're like, what the fuck did I just danced around like a monkey, for that bit.
My philosophy on it is maybe not the right way, but I will also be like, in my head, I'm like, I have a responsibility to the show. I can't just fucking like light everything on fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just kind of like, but, I did a show recently. My buddy Learn More, like I opened for him, and like I did well. And then afterwards, he was just like, he kind of like ripped into me a little bit, where he's just like, "You're not trying things. Like you're like," and I'm like, "I did try a new thing." And he's like, but it's like you're not like," and he basically was kind of getting on me for not like taking risks, which is like a great friend.
Yeah,
but
I've had that same conversation.
With Learn
comics
More.
and not really. About
like,
you. Yeah, you said.
Not...
I don't even know him. Like it's weird. I don't know why you said it to me. It's kind of actually mean.
It's like really mean, man. But that made me really sad. But also, I was just like, "You're right," and I'm like, and they kind of like put me in the fucking.
Well, how do you then? What do you do then? Like, so he says that to you, like obviously that kind of like fucks with you for a second. So what's your like? How do you rectify that? Like, what's your steps to rectify that, and in what time frame?
For a little bit, I'm like, you don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
You're not my Zimbabwe father. And then
I have another Zimbabwe father.
Exactly.
You are not him.
Yeah. But then I I'll write some shit that's really bad, and then I'll write some more stuff that's also kind of bad. But then like I'll look at me like maybe there's a little something here, and I'll try it and it'll bomb. And then I'll tell my friends about it, and they're like, "This isn't funny." And then I'll still try it again. And then one time I'll do it, and it'll hit.
Right.
And I'm like, "There's something there."
Yeah.
And then I tried it last night, and it didn't hit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I don't know, but
that's fucked up. Yeah, I don't know.
I would just I don't know, but I'm also just like you gotta there's no right answer,
Yeah, because I'll write stuff and I'll be like, all right, you gotta take risks, and then I'll be like, is this a risk or is this bad? Is this just bad?
The only way to know it is to try it.
I know, but what I do is like I'll try it and it will start not working. It'll be like rough, and then like I'll dig back into the bag of tricks.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I respect people so much that like we were talking about Tay earlier.
Yeah.
He just does him, right? And like Shane Gillis is somebody who in the beginning he just did him, right? He knew exactly who he was, and it didn't always work, especially like when nobody knew who he was.
But you knew him back in Philly when he was first.
Yeah, and he wasn't. He wasn't like he was just an open mic guy.
Yeah.
But he knew who the fuck he was doing. And he kept doing it, and he like didn't waver, and like he just became really good. He just chiseled that thing.
Yeah.
I don't think I do that. I think I'm like all over the place trying to find out what I am.
Yeah.
Or like I don't know if I want to even say this name because it's not a. I'm not speaking bad about them. I respect this. Do you remember? Did you ever do stuff with Drew Michael in New York?
Yes.
Drew Michael used to like come in and like derail shows.
Totally.
And not give a fuck.
I know.
About the bomb.
Right.
Like do like a 12-minute, not give a shit about anything.
I remember lighting him, and he's like, "I saw the light, Ronnie," and he continued to bomb.
Yeah.
For 3 or 4 more minutes.
But then look at him.
Killer.
So
killer that and super original, but I also think he's kind of deaf, so he kind of can't tell that he's bombing. It's like that's a superpower.
Okay, fair. But no, I think there's something to be said about like somebody that's like, nah, this is what I'm doing tonight. If they don't like it, fuck them. But I'm with you. I'm like, well, we do have a responsibility to make these people laugh.
Right, but that's maybe we're looking at it wrong. Maybe
that's what I think. That's what I'm saying. Like yeah.
Or maybe it's not being selfish. Maybe we're not. Maybe we're just being people pleasers and stuff, and that's why we'll never be Drew Michael and Shane Gillis.
That's my point. Like, am I like, what am I doing? Right? Like, you're like, fuck, what am I doing? Like, am I not getting any better? Like, am I not pushing who I could like? Is this who I'm just gonna be? Like I get scared, doing like when I first started, like these like B and C clubs in the like small towns, like, and the headliner would come through and he'd like kind of be hacky, definitely, but they would crush, and then they would go to their Ramada room, and that's their life. And I'm like, dude, I would kill myself. Like that can't be fun. You make $400 a weekend,
yeah,
and you're like 60,
yeah,
and is because I'm not allowing myself to like eat shit on, because like I said, like I'll eat shit, but it's because I'm mailing it in a way to protect myself from actually bombing. And I'm like, am I not getting good? Am I not improving and being in sharpening the blade enough that I'm gonna fucking end up in a whirlpool at the goddamn Motel 8? Not even killing myself, just dead because that's how I die. Like,
yeah,
just on the treadmill in the hotel.
Just like on the not even kill myself, just like cardiac arrest in a fucking over chlorinated pool in like I don't know, some shithole town.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know that like there is an answer.
No.
I definitely think you're gonna die in a hotel, but
yeah.
I don't. But I don't know, man. It's a great question because it's something that I don't think that you're alone to think about. I think about that shit.
Do you really, like, often?
Sure.
Okay.
But I'm also just like, it's like like you say the tricks, but it's like it's also the craft too. So like I don't want to like be like I'm a hack over here being like you gotta make them laugh.
Yeah.
But but also who knows, man? It's like it just comes down to like I think it does come down to like worrying about what other people think.
Do you worry? Do you do that?
Of course.
Do you do that? Worry about what other people think about you?
I mean, yeah, I think it's a very common thing. I try not to.
How do you? Okay, but there's a level that's too much. I'm assuming. Obviously,
I think it's good to be aware of what other people think about you, but you shouldn't let it affect your decisions.
Can't let it paralyze you.
Yeah, I think that it's certainly been something that paralyzes me in my life. But also, the worst person on earth is somebody that's like, I don't fucking give a shit what people think about me. It's like
exactly. Yeah,
you should care more about what people think. It's mentally ill.
I don't know. Maybe there's a way that you and a friend or something would be like make a pact.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, let's fucking go for it tonight or whatever.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like, let's do this for like a certain amount of days and just kind of like an experiment.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of like, burn some bridges, possibly.
Yeah.
But also like, maybe you kind of like, be on the cutting edge of something or have some crazy comedy insight.
Because I don't know if you feel this way. I feel this way about my like career. Like I try to be a nice guy. I try to do well. There's been shows where I'm like, oh, this is a great opportunity for me, so I can't fuck it up. And so you play it safe. I'll do this thing where I'm like, all right, I'll do the things that work. Like I used to feature for this guy, and I would do the same 30. I hated the 30.
Yeah.
I wasn't proud of it, but I knew it worked, and I knew it would work in those places. And then, because you're like, this will get me to you got to do this to get to the next level.
Yeah.
But then all of those opportunities, all of those things, nobody was ever like, you want to do this?
Right.
So like, wouldn't it have just been better to do it your way anyway?
Sure.
And fucking just like worry so much and like kind of not pander, but in a way pander.
Yeah.
So that's what fucks me up. Like, because that's a lot like that basketball thing. I'm like I'm just fouling myself out every day.
Well, I don't know, man. Like I've seen you on shows and stuff. Like, and I didn't really see a ton in New York, but I'm seeing out here and shit. And like I saw you in Lehigh Valley, even like hosting that show that you did, for, like the competition show and stuff. It's always like. You're coming up with like unique stuff and original.
No, you bomb. He's like, no, you bomb. No, I appreciate it.
Listen, no one was laughing. If you weren't taking a risk, what were you doing?
That was a risk for all of us.
But I'm serious, bro.
No, I appreciate that.
I totally like what you're doing and stuff. So, I don't know, man. Great questions. I think this is me wrapping it up, but like folks, like if you have any thoughts, I think like Tyler like opened up a ton and it was like fucking
this is awesome. This is fun.
Please tell us what you think in the comments and stuff, and rate, review, subscribe, all that bullshit. But no, you've been an incredible guest, man. This has been like a lot of stuff that I've thought about and stuff. And
that's why I like to talk, because I feel like I know we didn't hang out much, but I know that there's like a lot of similarities.
Totally, yeah.
And so I'm happy to have been able to bounce off. I've only known Tim for short amount of time, but I feel like you have a lot of
Sauce and
like we're the sauce boys.
He opened the fridge. He saw you had a lot of sauces, but no, Tim's like the same way. He's like likes to talk about this stuff.
I think a lot more people are.
I think so too.
But hey.
Well, we gotta send this to his therapist. Get the feedback from the.
I always wonder if she watches shit.
You think so?
Yeah. Do your mom does she see anybody that's like in entertainment or anything? I mean, are we in entertainment? But
what do you mean?
Like, I always wonder because my therapist knows I do stand up. I always wonder if she like looks me up.
Oh, like does my
like looks at my videos and shit.
I'm sure
it'd be
crazy not to.
I guess it would, wouldn't it?
It's like, oh, this guy. It's like, to me, that'd be crazier to be like, oh,
it would be crazier. Which I get so embarrassed about her. The thought of her watching my videos. My like ideas.
We'll clip this and collab post it with you. So
I'm gonna send it to your guy in Florida too. So like we always end up with this one last question. It's like it's sort of like the we tie it all together. So I saw this movie. It was like Love Lies Bleeding.
Okay.
So I'll tell you how it ends. Basically,
I already know. I just looked it up.
It's super weird. It becomes like Ed Harris is fighting a giant lesbian. It's like it's the truth, and she grows like 7 feet.
Yeah.
But he has a skullet in this movie. This is like the inspiration for my fashion icon. So I've been bald, as you know. You probably remember me bald in New York. I was just a bald guy, and then I was like, you know what? Nobody looks like this. Let's go for this look.
Yeah.
So it started out like as a kind of a goof, like, can I do this? And now that I'm doing it more, it's actually kind of like growing into, like, I'm actually feel like I'm growing into it. But I got a lot of pushback in the beginning, obviously. And then I was
I couldn't. Why? What would they say?
They were just like, they were just, some people would just be like,
really?
They were just like, what are you?
They didn't like they didn't like that look.
And now I'm getting, now people don't even look at me.
Yeah.
They avoid me. And, but
lesbians are certainly scared of you.
They certainly are. So I guess, we always ask this question, just sort of like, is there anything in your life that like in the, that you, I guess like you're like, maybe people in your life are like, maybe don't do this thing. Maybe you shouldn't do it. Your friends, your family, your loved ones. But you're like, other than comedy, that are like, but
I fouled myself out of this basketball game one time.
Yeah.
I guess it's like, what is your skullet?
That's an awesome question. And oh man.
And you feel like you had to.
I had to do it. Shit. I guess for the most part of my life, I've been like relatively supported in most of my decisions, but I also like didn't I haven't done a lot of outside of the box shit based on all of the previous however long I just talked for. I do remember I got my ear pierced.
Yeah.
And nobody was like nobody said anything to me about it.
Yeah.
But there was an energy that I certainly felt that I was like, I'm not an ear pierce type of guy. Yeah. So, what's funny though? Clothing, right? Clothing, how you like express yourself with clothing. I obviously, this is kind of my deal. And to what you're saying about New York, how I dressed, nobody would have thought I gave a fuck, right? And I because I've bought clothes that I never wore so many times. Oh. Like even in high school, like I bought Tim boots.
Yeah,
Never wore them. I was so excited to buy them because I was like, oh, this is cool.
Right.
But then I never wore them. Or like shirts, I'm like, this is a cool shirt.
Yeah. And
I just would never wear it because I would be like, they're not. People are gonna be like, you're being something that you're not.
Yeah.
So I am. There's not really a thing like the skullet, but there would have been if I wasn't such a pussy. So I think it's cool as hell to me. I love when I see people doing shit like this.
Yeah.
Because I never would. I'm such a fucking like mentally, I'm such a loser.
This has been a crazy therapy session for Tyler, dude. Just
Yeah, no, I know.
Like, everyone's like, God.
Yeah,
definitely
I have to.
one of
Do
my
I have to give
favorite
your mom a
episodes.
copay or something?
Yeah, what insurance do you have, Tyler? Yeah.
Well, that's funny. None.
No,
This
I
is
remember,
how people without insurance get therapy.
well, I'll tell you this. You know, as someone has taken some, their story made me think of this. When I was a boy, my parents got me this motorcycle bike, right?
Okay.
It was a bike that was a motorcycle.
Okay.
It looked like a motorcycle,
Yeah.
had these buttons and
Yeah.
stuff. And it was incredible. It was so cool.
It sounds cool.
And then I drove it, I rode it around,
Yeah.
and then some of the boys,
No, you drive a motorcycle bike. You were right the first time.
some of the other boys would make fun of it. They made
Uh-huh.
fun of the bike.
Yeah.
And then I never drove it. I never drove that thing again. My parents were so disappointed in me for being such a coward.
Yeah, I get that. I put gel in my hair once in middle school, and I'd never done it, and nobody taught. You don't learn. I guess there's no like I think girls, their mom teaches them how to put makeup on. Like that's like there's no like getting ready as a guy. Your dad is not like, here's what you do. That doesn't happen. So I put gel in my hair because I was like, everybody was doing that thing. It's like down here.
Pompadour,
And
yeah.
I wanted to try that out. And I put gel in my hair, and I had like 30 minutes before I was leaving school, and I was like, the gel's, I got to put more in. And I kept putting more in. And then by the time I got to school, I'd put like a half a bottle of gel in my hair, and it was just like this, like a matted dog.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, "Oh, fuck, man, what's up with that?" What? And to this day, I will never put gel in my hair. So I think that's maybe the closest thing I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that's a very common experience, I think. It's like the first time doing gel, then you're just like,
Yeah, you don't know how to do
You
it.
got to go through the ringer. You got to
Yeah.
get made fun of and be like, all right.
That is the
you know.
thing.
Yeah.
You know, you got to go through it, and then afterwards, everyone just
Uh-huh.
This is just your
Okay,
hair,
that
you
makes
know?
yeah. So you gotta you gotta find the balance.
Yeah.
That's why I love people that do that shit. You know, that are just like my girlfriend's that way. She just like wears what the fuck ever she wants, crazy shit. I'm like, damn. I wear like black pants, either a white t-shirt or a black t. She started to get me like clothes like that she likes, that she wants me to wear,
Yeah.
and like they're cool as hell. But when I wear them, people are like, "What's going on?"
Just
But
gotta-
then after 20 minutes, they're like, looks pretty cool.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta get the there's the it's the same thing with reading. The first few minutes suck. It's just like running, bro. It's like the first few minutes suck, and then
Yep.
it's eventually just like it's part of it.
It's
you know,
part of it, yeah.
So you gotta get it's the initial uncomfortable,
Uh-huh.
and then
Yeah.
once you get past that, you're fucking golden. You know.
Yep. Yeah, there's no truer words than that for sure.
Dude, you've been an incredible guest. Make
This
sure
is
everyone
so
follow
fun.
you. Where's where can we find your socials? What are the socials?
At Tyler Rothrock on everything.
At Tyler Rothrock, incredible comic. Watch him as he's going on tour, coming through Bethlehem.
Bethlehem.
Come get some hot
A
dogs.
small town near you,
Small
folks.
town near you.
A former steel town or coal mining town. If you guys,
If your industry is no longer
Yeah.
there, Tyler will be there.
yeah, if your town's economy is crippled, I will be there at your VFW bombing away.
Folks, this has been the Skullet Podcast. Like I said, rate, review, subscribe. Everyone who does that will get a sticker and a personalized note from your boy, the Skullet Captain. And remember, folks, not all growth is good. Just keep it in the back of your head.